Hello, everyone. It's time for another edition of Groendyke's Let's Talk. So, welcome. As you can tell by my background, it is December and close to Christmas. So, let me say Merry Christmas to everyone. I've got a few things on my list to talk about today, and then we'll take any questions or comments that come through the comment section. So, feel free to add your questions there and then we'll sum up. So let me start with, we haven't talked about COVID in a while. It's still out there. And we've talked about the OSHA mandate, the vaccine mandates, what OSHA is trying to do. And we haven't said anything because nothing's happening. Everything is tied up in the courts right now. We're just waiting around to see what's going to happen. So in the meantime, we're just sort of in a standby. I can tell you we did hear from ATA, the American Trucking Association, that it looks like commercial drivers may be able to be carved out of the mandate. But again, still things are very unclear, and we won't know probably for a few more weeks, if not months. So stay tuned, of course. As soon as we know something, we'll be sure and share it with you all. Let me add that if you have been vaccinated, we do want you to send your cards into the talent office. I am still receiving cards, so thank you to those that have sent them in. And I'm receiving cards from people that have received their vaccines back in February and March of this year. So if you've done it, please just take the time to snap a photo of that vaccine card and send it into the talent office so that we can get you recorded. What else do I want to talk about today? I have a list. So I got an article sent to me about a 32-hour work week and the idea that this might take some traction here in the United States. And I'm here to tell you that that's really just not practical. Certainly not in our industry is it practical. But I think there's a lot of other federal regulatory guidelines like the Fair Labor Standards Act and other things that need to be considered before something like that will take hold. And quite frankly, the United States is known for its productivity, for its hard work. And we at Groendyke certainly know what hard work is about. And that's why we're one of the greatest countries in the world. Because we work hard. So I just don't see a 32-hour work week becoming practical, and certainly not for the trucking industry. Also, let me add that I personally have stopped watching the news. Everything out there seems to be so negative now, and certainly this time of year, that's the last thing I want to see. So my personal favorite right now is the Great British Baking Show. I highly recommend. What else? Okay, the mobile app. You've seen some mobile minutes recently from Colin Abernathy, and we have taken, if you'll remember at the beginning of the year, you took an engagement survey where we sent it out to your emails. You took a survey about what you think it is like to work at Groendyke Transport. So we took your feedback from that survey where you wanted more communication. So because of that survey, we're doing things like this Facebook Live. And we've also made changes to the mobile app. So one of those things is the good to great form. We've gotten some great feedback on this good to great form. Some of them have been very complex questions. So keep in mind, it takes time to get answers back to you. That we might have certain departments that have other projects going on, or they may be more complex that we have to get input from other departments. But we want you to know that we are reading those, we are gathering the information, and we will respond to all of them. So please keep them coming. We've gotten some great feedback from that. Also, there's the section on employee recognition. This was another thing that came out of the survey about being recognized for a job well done. In the mobile app, this is an area where you can comment about your coworkers, about your boss, about people that report to you. It's an employee recognition and kudos section. And we've received some great feedback for drivers and non-drivers alike, recognizing people for a job well done. So continue to use the mobile app as a great resource for feedback coming back and forth. And that's one of the main reasons we want to do this Facebook Live, is so you're not always hearing from us. We want to hear from you too. So keep up the good work. So I'm going to ask Matt if I haven't been talking for very long, so we probably don't have a lot of comments yet.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 comments saying that you have a great sweater.
4 comments about my Christmas sweater. Thank you so much. Most of you that know me already know I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm also a huge Christmas fan. Yes, my name is Holly. Therefore, Star Wars Christmas sweater, I had to go with it. So I love it. Thank you so much.
And we did have one question that came in shortly before we went live. Bobby Platt was asking if we will have Christmas bonuses and Christmas ham.
Okay, thank you, Bobby. So the answer is yes to both. We are doing bonuses this year, and so thank you all very much. That is a huge thank you to a job well done. It's been a hard year, it's been a busy year, and we've been profitable. So thank you so much, and we're returning that back to some of you. As you know, with COVID, we're still kind of on the fence about some of the terminal Christmas parties. So we will be doing the gift cards again in lieu of Christmas parties. So you'll be able to get produce or meat when you get those Christmas cards coming to the terminals today, tomorrow, sometime this week. You should have them by next week. So be on the lookout for those, and Merry Christmas.
Along that note, do you want to mention when people can expect their Christmas bonus?
So should be perhaps received within the next pay period or the one after that. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to check with payroll. But soon, very soon.
We have a question from Johnny Forwoodson. Do you offer any fuel hauling in southeastern Oklahoma?
Johnny, fuel hauling in southeastern Oklahoma. So we don't have any terminal locations in that area. We might deliver to some of those areas. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. I'd have to have some of my ops folks weigh in on that. But our Tulsa terminal, our Enid terminal, either of those locations you would be able to apply to no matter where you live within Oklahoma and be able to drive for those locations. Those are going to be regional. Probably not fuel hauling, I would guess. But again, I'm going to have ops weigh in on that. So if they do, let me know, Matt. Great question, though. If you'd like, you can call the recruiting hotline, 877-GTI-WORK, and they can answer more questions about what is available in your area. Good question. Thanks, Johnny.
Brad Wood says Merry Christmas.
Brad Wood, thank you, and Merry Christmas back to you too. Brad Wood is our nominee for the National Tank Truck Carriers Driver of the Year, so we're rooting for Brad. We just submitted his information.
We should know soon.
We should know soon. We're all crossing our fingers, Brad. I thought your video was fantastic. Have we even showed Brad that video? Maybe we should put that on Facebook eventually. So congrats, Brad. We're rooting for you. Hopefully we'll know something soon. So Merry Christmas back to you.
That's all I've got at the moment.
That's all we've got at the moment. Okay, I'll stall for time. Is that what they do in TV now? Yeah, so I'll stall for time a little bit, see if we get some more comments. I wanted to remind everybody that, remember, we do a New Year's Eve shutdown every year. So remember that that's coming up. Make sure you're making plans to do that. We want to keep our drivers safe and off the road during that time frame where some of the amateurs are on the roads. Also, I think I just want to take an opportunity to say I love Groendyke because while we're a big company that has a lot of influence, we still have a small company feel. Everybody is tied to a terminal or to the corporate office here in Enid, and that is something really special about Groendyke, that even though we're big with a lot of influence, and by influence I mean we have a lot of street cred or reputation that puts us at the top of some of the industry organizations like ATA or National Tank Truck Carriers. So big company, a lot of influence, but small company feel, and you're not a number here. We know who you are, and that's really important to me to work here and to work for a company like Groendyke Transport. Anything else?
We have a question of what the time frame is for the New Year's Eve shutdown.
I'm going to have ops weigh in on this again, but I believe we shut down starting at 11 to 5 a.m. 11 p.m. New Year's Eve to 5 a.m. New Year's Day. But again, if Chris Poppy is watching in safety, anybody, any field safety coordinators or anybody in operations, if I've misquoted, check with your terminal managers because they will know the answer.
And Chris is watching. He has commented once. He said, he says they'll discuss and announce.
So more to come on the New Year's Eve shutdown. They're going to discuss and announce. So as you know, we'll always keep in contact with you and we'll let you know. You'll hear it from your terminal managers. You'll hear it from your field safety coordinators, or you can also probably see something from Poppy coming up on a mobile minute, I would imagine.
And Jeff Moe chimed in and said that's been the hours that we've done in the past.
So see, I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to operations every once in a while. Thank you very much.
We do have a question saying that someone would like to know if there is any future plan for another intake of drivers in South Africa since the recent opportunity is passed.
Yeah, great question. So we are sort of in a holding pattern with the foreign driver hiring. And primarily that's due to the Department of Labor and the things that we have to wait on to get permanent certifications for their drivers. So as you all know, we've mentioned it in the past, I have a pool of drivers that I've interviewed that are excited about coming to work for Groendyke, but we're on hold right now. So hopefully we'll know something in the next few months as they start to have their certification applications going through the system, and we'll know more. If it works, we're going to do it again. Again, it's just a pilot program, so we're trying it out. We're going to see how it works. Hopefully we can get these experienced drivers to come over here and work for us in the United States, but more to come on that. So I don't really have an answer for that, except nothing now.
Chase Watson is asking, saying, Central Freight just went out of business. Do we have recruiters trying to pick up drivers that don't have a job now?
Yes, very sad news for those drivers down in Texas that work for Central Freight. We did hear the news very early on. Of course, we've been advertising for those drivers if they want to apply, or if any of you are watching that are former Central Freight drivers, we'd love to have you apply for Groendyke Transport. We're doing some advertising now. It's been very aggressive. As you can imagine, capacity is really tight and a lot of people are looking for drivers. So the need for drivers is really palpable and people are throwing a ton of money to try to get these drivers from Central Freight. I have no doubt that any of those drivers are going to be able to find a job very quickly. And certainly we have jobs available here at Groendyke. So Groendyke.com, go and apply.
I have no more questions at this time.
No more questions. So let me take this last opportunity to say thanks for a great year. It's been fabulous. I've enjoyed working with every single one of you. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2022. Bye-bye.